In a bombshell announcement that nobody really saw coming, the CDC on Thursday said fully vaccinated people can say goodbye to masks and social distancing. This prompted the president and vice president to walk out into the Rose Garden maskless, where President Biden addressed the historic moment.
You've endured all this. When your country asked you to get vaccinated, you did. The American people stepped up. You did what I consider to be your patriotic duty. That's how we've gotten to this day.
That's how we've gotten to this day, so says President Biden, but one former president thinks it's not the only thing that got us here. In a statement released on his new blog, Donald Trump bemoans the fact that his administration isn't given credit for the swift production of COVID-19 vaccines. Quote, "Just a mention, please. The Biden administration had zero to do with it. All they did was continue our plan of distribution, which was working well right from the beginning." Since the end of his presidency, reports have said that Trump was concerned about Biden getting all of the credit for the vaccine. And while he's never been shy about claiming credit, former Trump aides tell Politico they're frustrated by his unwillingness to pitch his own vaccine-hesitant voters on getting the shot, saying it would help boost his legacy. But regardless of his current approach, his aggressive pursuit of vaccine development shouldn't be dismissed. It's true that President Biden and his team moved with great speed to secure hundreds of millions of doses and get them into the arms of Americans, with more than 36% of Americans now fully vaccinated. But none of that would have been possible if the vaccines didn't already exist. While vaccine development, testing, and approval typically takes years, the goal of Trump's Operation Warp Speed was to break through those barriers. It funded vaccine development and manufacturing for vaccines from multiple private companies, one of them being Moderna, which is, of course, one of the 3 vaccines that gained FDA emergency use authorization. The government also struck separate deals with Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, the other 2 vaccines that were given green lights. Dr. Ramesh Adalja, a senior scholar at Johns Hopkins University Center for Health and Security, summed up the effort this way: "It's unquestionable that Operation Warp Speed was instrumental in the vaccine development process. That whole process of pre-purchase agreements and creating a market for these vaccines even before they were shown to be safe or effective really is what's responsible for the fact that we have such a supply of vaccines." The bottom line is this: from start to finish, the first COVID-19 vaccine was produced and market ready in less than 12 months. A blink in vaccine years. And it happened on Donald Trump's watch. Now, to be clear, none of this excuses all of Trump's anti-science rhetoric, his downplaying of the virus, his policy missteps. But both of these things can be true at once. First, that Donald Trump bears responsibility for a long list of failures in responding to the pandemic. And second, that Donald Trump deserves credit for vaccines. Since taking office, President Biden has never really acknowledged the latter. Maybe just a mention, as Trump requested, isn't too much to ask. Let us check in on your tweets and Facebook comments. What do we have from the world of Twitter? Smerconish, I always knew you had a thing for Trump. Sad and difficult to comprehend. Juan, what is incorrect in what I just said? Many, many failures that we've talked about ad nauseum here. But when it comes to the vaccine development and the pace of it, you got to give the man his just due. And I wouldn't be an honest broker if I didn't acknowledge both things. Time to see how you responded to the survey question this week at Smerconish.com. Will enabling the unverifiable unvaccinated to go maskless spread more COVID? 92% come to the correct answer and say yes of nearly 20,000 votes cast. Let me give a shout out to Aaron Blake, because I was mimicking his words from the Washington Post today, and he was making the point that, most prone to risky behavior are those who could have been vaccinated, still could, and are choosing not to. And they're the ones who now we have to worry about going to Trader Joe's or Starbucks or Walmart and acting like they are vaccinated when in fact they're not. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, who gives a damn? That's on them. The issue is if you're fully vaccinated and they're not, and they now continue to spread the virus, that's bad for all of us, not the least of whom are the people who cannot, for medical reasons, get a vaccine. Anyway, I'm glad we came to that conclusion together.